Hello, this is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. You're wondering why your kids don't listen to you. Well, I know someone that they listen to and listen well, Mr. Oliver Petty. I'm going to introduce him to you right after this short break. Hello, I told you I would be back, and I told you I would introduce you to a young man, Mr. Oliver Petty. Oliver, I've seen video of you talking to hundreds, in one case thousands of kids. They're all sitting on the edge of their seat. They're all paying attention to you like you were. How do you do that? What do you do that? Why do you do that? Tell us about you, your organization, but we really want to quickly get over to what is it you're saying to these young people that has them paying so much attention to you?
So what you're referring to is our It's Okay to Dream tour. That's a speaking tour. We go to schools as early as 4th grade and we go all the way through college. And we deliver on what we call foundational blueprints that never change. Things that matter, people would say real talk. The concept is we go in, I outline a presentation based around my personal story of how to go from extreme poverty or adversity to success using the blueprints that I've learned and sought out along the way through experience, mentors, and study.
Quite frankly, that sounds great to me, but I'm an old guy. Sounds like it would be tremendously boring to young folk. How do you get them to be so excited about that story?
So the first thing is relating to an individual. It doesn't matter what age. Every human is looking to connect to somebody else. As a matter of fact, Oprah says she's done over 30,000 interviews, and it's been with everybody from the greatest entertainers to presidents. And at the end of the interview, everybody leans over and asks, well, how was that? They're all looking to be validated and to relate to somebody. So when I go up and I'm able to outline my story, so many students or individuals in the audience can connect to different parts of my story because of so many different things that I've been through and experienced. And then from there, the way we tie the tour all together with my DJ and sound and lights and all of these different things.
So we get them a little excited with some DJ, with some music, with some lights. And does Beyonce show up with you?
Beyonce does not show up.
No Beyonce.
No Beyonce.
Taylor Swift?
No.
Jay-Z.
Hopefully Kanye West at some point. Hopefully some of these artists at some point. What we do is we might take a bit from Kanye, we might take a bit from Beyonce and infuse that. We might take a Chance the Rapper and infuse some lyrics or music in, but they won't actually be there.
Okay, so
currently.
So those lyrics give you a little mark of identification with the kids. How does that excite them? What's your purpose in bringing that music and focusing on certain lyrics?
Yeah. Well, they say music is a universal language, right?
I agree.
And then hip hop, right, is the #1 genre in the world. So everybody is being influenced by that one way or another. And then when you start talking about young people, they're definitely tuning in. So if I can connect some of the lyrics that they've heard in a song to real life stories, obstacles, or success, then they can relate and connect the dots and say, oh, wait, Drake says that he's in the studio working this much. Oh, that's why he's the #1 artist. It's because of the work that he put in, not just he shows up and he's great. He actually worked for this. Or, Beyonce struggled this way and she sacrificed this much to get here. Oh, that sounds like what Oliver said. He did something very similar, and now he's in front of me and there's thousands of kids here. And then delivery is important. You have to be able to deliver in a certain manner. So we really take them on what I like to call an emotional roller coaster, highs, lows, and back up.
Tell us a bit about the tour. You're about to go on a tour, and obviously you've been on tour because I see such good video of your past tours. How do you set up the tour? Who are you working with on the tour? What are the obstacles in getting set up, and what's the big lift once you do get it set up?
We're going on tour starting this Friday. We'll be at San Jacinto High School. This is our 6th year going out and speaking to students on this tour. The way we set up is we work with different superintendents, different district offices, or different principals at school sites. Every now and then there may be an ASB director or somebody like that that might facilitate for us. But we either contract through a district office with multiple schools in the district, or we'll work per site with the principal or ASB director.
Elementary, middle, and high schools.
Elementary, middle, and high school. We even go into colleges, and we do nonprofits and different organizations as well.
That's a pretty wide range of age groups to make presentations to.
Right.
How much do you alter your presentation based on the difference between elementary school and high school?
Well, there's minor adjustments just in delivery, but the content and the meat of it is the same.
Very
because we see them as young children, but really they're so smart and they're advanced more than we really understand. So they can grasp so much. We just have to deliver it in a way that they can digest it. And then we also train administrators and teachers as well. So,
are we suggesting that some of the elementary school students are a little smarter than their parents think they are?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Can we talk about that a little bit? Can you exemplify that?
Well, 1,000%. So when you look at a elementary student, right, they're grasping everything around them. And they know a lot more than what the parent thinks. And I'll just give you a small example on technology. My goddaughter, she's about to be 2 next month. So she's not even 2 years old yet. She knows how to open my brother's phone, find the YouTube app, find what she wants to watch, and then if you call while she's watching her video, she knows how to hit decline and continue to watch her video. That's how smart she is. She's not even 2 years old yet.
And your goal is to teach her how to hit accept and allow you to take the phone call.
That would be the ideal thing, right?
Very good. What are some of the obstacles that you're running into as you try to set up your tours, as you even make your presentations? What are the obstacles in your presentation?
Well, I think the obstacles are just breaking into new districts, exposure, getting in front of different superintendents or districts to help them understand what our presentation does, right? You might have a speaker that comes in and grabs a microphone and talks. That's one way to do it. No problem with that. But when we come, it's a full experience that we're providing for your school site. We want to change the morale and the way students enter into the school based off of how they feel. Everybody's welcomed in and it's an open environment. We ask some difficult questions. We go over tough topics. We go over hard-hitting things. And with that being said, we have to provide and create a safe space. So I think after they're able to see what we do, and it's not just the students that are impacted, the teachers and the principals come up. They got tears in their eyes. They're talking about the dreams that they have still and the things that they want to do. So I think that the biggest challenge is just breaking into untapped areas and exposure.
Now, ownership.
Yes.
I understand that's a big part of your presentation.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Only thoughts of ownership, right? That's what I titled.
Only thoughts of ownership.
Yes. So 6 years ago, I titled my company Only Thoughts of Ownership. I'm a young black man in America. And the reality is we don't own in this country, and we don't maintain our intellectual property. Hip hop is our biggest import-export as a young black individual, and we don't own that. So individuals like Nipsey Hussle or Jay-Z or Master P all spoke to me as a kid growing up that, hey, whatever I create, I want to maintain ownership of that intellectual property.
Now, when you say, and that's a very important subject, intellectual properties,
right,
and maintaining ownership, and in the music business, that's pretty much done if you control your masters.
Right.
How does that relate to the kids? How do you relate something like that to the young folk?
So we do it several different ways, but primarily it's just by showing them, hey, we show up. There might be 7 individuals on my team. They all look and resemble me, right? They come from areas just like I do. And we all own what we do. That, I think the best way is to put it in front of them so they can see it live. I can say, look, I come from foster care, I come from welfare, I come from homelessness, but now I own 3 businesses, and this is my business partner right here. He has this amount of percentage of equity in the company. He has this amount of percentage of equity in this company, and we 50-50 on this company, right? And then if we design a t-shirt or a hat, here are our splits. Here are the numbers that we get, and here's how we're able to sell it and get our margins back. What are margins? We're able to go over those specifics and teach them and put it in a way that's palatable for them to digest it.
You've been doing it for 6 years.
Yes.
That means you've got a graduating class at this point.
Yeah.
What are some testimonials or observations you've been able to make about the people that have gone through your presentations?
Oh man, you know, we get so many individuals reaching back out to us just about how that one presentation set them on a trajectory where they approach school different, they approach their daily life different. You know what, I'm actually gonna try now in school. I'm actually going to, you know, I see that I could come from where you come from and be successful, so I wanna be the next you. Or I wanna figure out how to create my own business now. So we have a ton of success stories just about individuals at that moment. I call it a pivot. They make a pivot and then they start to do things a different way from that point on. That's why I don't say, call me a motivational speaker, because I'm not here to motivate anybody. I want to tap your soul and figure out how to change something inside of you.
I understand not moving with the idea of motivation.
Yeah.
But we all are motivated every day by everything that goes on around us. Is there a way to not motivate people in your presence?
No. Yeah. So I think motivation is interweaved within that, but that's not my primary focus, because motivation is like a shower. You need it every day, right? I want to inspire you.
I know some of you guys are arguing with this shower every day thing, but think about it. It works. It works. Testimonials, examples. We're talking to the young people about some of the people that they see, that they admire, saying you're going to do some modeling of their character, of their activities. Do we have some success stories of some kids stepping up, or you helping them get a business going, or how far does your involvement go with the young people you're speaking to? Is there a connection after the presentation?
Within the tour, it's just delivering the information, providing examples, and exposing them. With our mentor program, the Best Version of You Academy, we do something a little bit different where we show up on campus once a week and we work with a small group of students throughout the school year, and we have them go through a series of modules, and in those modules, everyone has an ownership component. So they will develop a business concept throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, we will put on a large event like a Shark Tank, and they will pitch a group of investors. They'll get their first suit, they'll get an account open, and they'll have a chance to win one of 3 prizes of $1,500, $1,000, or $750 to go toward their business.
Is that a gonna be, or is that something we've already done?
This is an actuality thing that we're
Really?
doing. Yeah.
So how
it's called
does it
the
work?
Best Version of You Academy.
What can you tell us a little bit about one of the businesses or one of the examples of a winner?
Yeah, so we're running this in Pinacati Middle School this year. The program is
At what middle school?
Pinacati Middle School in Paris, California. It is a derived program or a derivative of a program that I worked with my old department chair of the School of Business at APU. She gifted me her program and said, I think that you could redesign this and take it further than I ever could based off of your education and experience. So we took her format and completely redesigned it from options to the Best Version of You Academy. So this is going to be our first go around with the Shark Tank portion of this program.
She mentioned something that I'm going to ask you to explore a bit more, and that's who you are, how you got to be who you are, and what are your, really personal goals in terms of being successful with these kids. And I'm going to give you a chance to answer that right after this break. We'll be right back.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. But don't just imagine. Use STEM to change the world.
Who's with me?
It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at
We're back. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. Mr. Oliver Petty is speaking to us about the importance of ownership, the same way he speaks to young children 2 or 3 times a week. And Oliver, explain that to us again, but I'd like to know more about you, your background, and how you moved yourself to, or motivated yourself, or inspired yourself to take this direction, and specifically with our kids in mind.
Sure. So a lot of the students that we speak to often resemble me as a person and things that I've gone through in my life. I was a former foster child. I went to 5 different foster homes before I was 6 years old. My mother and father were both former drug addicts, and they also sold drugs. I'm one of 14 children. My mother was a single mother of 9 children. The first in my family to go to college and get a bachelor's degree, and I went on to get my master's degree by the time I was 23 years old in business. So then I went out into corporate America, and I did what society tells everybody to do, which is go to school, get your education, get a good job, live the American dream. But when I got out into corporate America, I noticed that this is not the bill of goods that they sold me. I'm making great money.
Okay.
I have the opportunity to make over $100,000 by the time I'm 24 years old. That's less than 6% of the country, right?
That's right.
So it wasn't a matter of if I was making the money. Was I passionate about what I did every day? Was I showing up to work, impacting lives? And I said, no, I'm making the money, but I'm not having passion and impact.
May I interrupt you?
Sure.
One of how many children?
14.
And as you graduated, and you were in foster homes, where were your brothers and sisters? How does that family picture look then, and how does it look now?
It's a moving pile of family, right? My father, my mother, she had 9 children. My father had, his share. There's a portion of time we're in foster care. There's a portion of time we're out of foster care. There's a portion of time we're homeless. It's a portion of time I'm moving with my mother, moving back with my father, getting kicked out of both homes. There's all sorts of moving parts there. So,
my last meeting with you, you introduced me to a brother.
yes.
He's part of your team.
Right.
How many of your siblings are involved with what you do?
So Ronnie Mitchell, is not my blood brother.
Chosen brother.
Chosen
Is that something?
brother. We met in the 7th grade, became best friends ever since
Very
then.
good.
He had a passion to do production. I had a passion to speak and, work with kids. So we partnered together. There was a question you asked me, and it just...
Oh, so you want me to remember that question and go back? You have to remember that I am a senior citizen, and you shouldn't ask senior citizens such embarrassing questions. Now, you remember that in the future, okay? All right. No, what I'm interested in is how you got to that position with your family. How much of your family's involved with what you do?
I got you. So originally, our team started out.
That was pretty good for me to remember that. Right? Okay.
Yeah. So our team started out of 4. Ronnie, myself, his older brother, and a good friend of mine. 2 individuals left, and it became down to 2. My older brother, his name is Kenneth Horn. He works with us on our team. My oldest brother used to work with us as well, but he stepped away. Kenneth, he can't be with us on tour right now because of some family circumstances, but he's what I like to call my Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
And anything I need done, anything that we need, he's swift with it. So it's at a tremendous loss for us right now, but he's taking care of some family things, and we can't wait to have him back.
Now, you earned your master's degree at age 23, and what was your degree in? Or
Business.
What is it?
So it was in business. I did an accelerated program at Azusa Pacific University. So I believe it was 13 months. And I went through the program. I got that piece of paper, and I thought it was going to be, everything I needed.
Well, I'm glad that you need the feedback from kids that you're delivering acknowledgement of their passion to. What are some of the businesses that the kids have presented during your short program? Well, I'm not going to say your short program, but your what did you call it? Program where you stayed with the school for
the academy.
Yes.
So they have a vast range of ideas, from things in tech, new technology, video gaming, apparel, rethinking how we utilize sports equipment. Their brains are endless, and the imagination we see is just tremendous if you allow them to tap into that and empower them to use it. So, I mean, it's been all sorts of things.
Very good. The Shark Tank.
Yes.
Who have been some of the people to attend the Shark Tanks? Because my reason for asking this is we would like to participate.
Oh,
not,
great.
Not that we're sharks,
Yeah.
but we would like to be able to help young people if they've got a business. We'd certainly like to promote that business. We certainly like to,
Yeah.
we'd like to meet some potential millionaires and help them along. Maybe
Right.
they'll remember us as they start cashing those big checks, as we
That's the plan, right?
help across the street and stuff like that.
That's the plan, right? The community gives to the younger individuals in the community, and they feed back the older individuals in the community, the seasoned individuals in the
Matured
community,
and stuff. There you
right?
go, right.
And
Good
that
one.
way we create that cycle. So as they age, they're giving back to the younger, and it just creates that cycle. Right now, we're working with America's Christian Credit Union. I just shut down with them, and they're interested in sponsoring the program, also being sharks and presenting the prizes. Spoke with someone at the 99-cent store in their corporate department, so potentially they'll be coming out. Also, someone in Wells Fargo. So there's a number of organizations that we're in talks with, and we'll see who sticks this year, and then who else we can't get to come on board.
Well, as you move to have the next Shark Tank, please allow us to get involved in terms of maybe finding some people with money, since we don't have any, but we do have a good magnifying glass in a way of identifying people that want to help out.
Yeah, well, money isn't the only way to support, right?
Yes.
That's just one facet. So for sure, we'd love to.
Very good. What is the future? Everything goes the way you want it. Where are you going? Where are we in 5 years?
I think what we want to do with our It's Okay to Dream tour is continue to expand that. We're getting ready to add a new component with lighting to take this show to another level. So that's something that we want to take countrywide, worldwide, because we believe in Indonesia there's adversity. We believe in China and Chicago there's adversity, and the blueprints are foundational, so they don't change. We believe that's one of the facets. We also may incorporate some sort of play based off of this story, incorporated, called The Little Boy, and then continuing to grow what we do with BVOU, the Best Version of You Academy, and take that outside of even the school system and start to design our own, where we empower individuals to utilize their natural gifts and abilities and build them up and invest in them so they can invest in others.
By this time, I'm sure that people have had an opportunity to see some video of your
course.
presentation. I have no doubt that Gabriel has put some of that up by now.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining that some of them are surprised to see the level of diversity in the crowd, because initially, as you spoke, you were speaking about how important it is that some of the kids see somebody who looks like them, who's experienced their lifestyle. Well, one thing about America, foster homes, poverty, and temptation is not limited to one particular ethnic group.
No, it's not.
It delivers itself to everyone, and
Right.
that's what we see in your presentation.
Yeah.
The people that are in the stands, the kids that are cheering,
Yeah.
the kids that are coming up to you to hug you, and all of those
Yeah,
great
yeah.
things. So, how important is it to you that you have a message that really speaks across the board? And how ironic is it that hip hop is one of the entry points that allows you to speak to everybody?
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite rappers who I, probably think is the most impactful rapper, his name is Tupac Shakur, right? And I believe when he was creating, he didn't say, I'm creating this for everybody. I believe he created to pour his heart out, pour his soul out, and impact the individuals that he saw. And then that will spread. When you drop a small drop of cream in black coffee, it's gonna dilute the whole coffee, right? It doesn't matter just because the coffee's black. So I'm dropping my cream in the black coffee, but I'm expecting it to spread across. And that's what I think hip hop does. I think that's what any great artist does. But initially, my interest and my primarily goal is to impact individuals, whoever it may be, going through adversity like I did.
I am young enough to remember the beginnings of hip hop and rap, and going into gas stations and
Yeah.
hearing the music be extremely loud. And
KRS-One,
but I
Coogee Rap.
remember specifically the first time I looked over, hearing all of that loud noise music,
Yeah.
and expecting to see. And I looked over, and there was a young Anglo girl with blonde hair listening to the hardcore rap.
Right,
and
right,
I said,
right.
"Oh my goodness, this thing is moving. It's not a
No.
race thing at all."
Nope. Drake's the biggest artist in the world, right? But he crosses over all kind of lines.
I didn't know that he was the biggest artist in the world,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because of his choice in basketball teams. I thought maybe he was a little slow, but I'm fine. I'm
Well, he's
glad
from Canada,
I'm
so,
glad
you
to
know.
find out that he's really kicking it, making it. I'm just kidding, but I'm not kidding. Okay, but congratulations. I appreciate the fact that you're doing what you do. How do people get in touch with you so that you can do what you do in a manner that may affect them, their neighborhood, their school district, their children?
So I'll give you a few ways. First, you can reach out to me through my website, oliverpetty.com, which is P as in Peter, E as in Edward, 2 T's as in Tom, and the letter Y as in Young.com. So it's just my name if you ever get confused. And then through my social media, which is Mr. Negative, OMR, followed by the word negative. Instagram, Facebook, you can find me on those 2 platforms primarily. And then if you need to call me, I'll give you my cell number, 626-494-7609. And we can schedule whatever it is that you need to impact your students, your teachers, or your administrators.
That phone number and website and Mr. Negative. Now, but tell me about how did we get with Mr. Negative? How did we choose that name or that?
Yeah. So it was something I was going to say for Oprah when we got there, but I'll give it to you
Well,
early.
she should have got to you earlier.
I got
What can I say?
Hey, right?
What can I say?
Can't sleep on it. So the concept is we do a YouTube series titled Welcome to the Jungle, or W2J. I believe the world that we live in is a jungle, and everybody's trying to figure out how to claim king of their specific area. So we deliver a series of foundational blueprints every Wednesday for individuals to follow from start to finish. We're on season 2 now. It's called The Strategy, and the concept I came up with, Mr. Negative, is when you were a kid, maybe you had a group of friends that you liked to hang out with. Maybe there was a girl that you really liked. And maybe your mom or your dad was like, she ain't no good for you. Or your friend, I don't want you hanging out with those. They up to no good. You ever had that experience?
I have an exceptional mother who, when she saw me with people that she didn't want me with, she had me bring them home and hold them close so she could watch. So I'll have to say that my mother accepted everyone that I could bring into the house, and so but I do understand
The concept.
the concept, yes, and I do understand the importance of the concept of the jungle.
Yeah.
What I'd like to point out is that walking through this jungle, when we hear the lion roar, there's one group of people who wants to go see what the lion is up to, and there's another group of people that say, oh, there's lions over there, we should go this way.
Yeah.
I'm one of the guys that say, oh, there's lions over there, we should go this way. You are a lion heart, the kind of person that I would encourage people to let their children be as exposed to as much as possible. Is there anything that we haven't said that you would like to say at this time, Mr. Petty?
I'll finish out your Mr. Negative point. And, that concept is if, typically a young man, young woman will feel like their parent is being negative. Well, really, they're trying to give them all the positive information. And I realized that some of the issues or some of the foundational keys that I talk about might not seem as positive because I'm direct with you. So you might feel like I'm being negative. Well, in that case, if that's what I need to be to give you all the positive information, I'm going to be Mr. Negative. 2
negatives to make it positive.
Exactly.
There
So
we
if you
go.
feel like I'm being negative and I'm being negative, we're going to get to the positive portion. And, I'll leave it with E40. E40 said, if you find me in the jungle fighting the mountain lion, don't help me. You better help the mountain lion.
Help the mountain lion, because we're not kidding around here. Mr. Petty, I appreciate you very much.
Thank
I
you, King.
appreciate what you're doing for our kids. God bless you. Well, God has blessed you.
Hey,
Thank
no
you.
thanks required. It's our job.
Deal.
That.
Thank you for being with us. We do appreciate it, and I do believe that you've learned something today. Thank you.